reason for why you feel anxious and stressed all of the time is simply because you aren't doing the things that you believe are right. You are doing things that you don't think are good for you. And you might not notice this on the conscious level, but subconsciously, you know what you're supposed to do, but you don't even admit it. You would rather live in this lie and do these easy habits, and maybe that's exercising or whatever, but you don't even want to do that thing actually. It's just a lie that you have come up with. So you keep doing all of these things, but when you force a path upon yourself that wasn't meant for you, it's going to lead to stress because, for example, exercise when it's voluntarily and you want to do it leads to health benefits and growth. But when you do it involuntarily and when it's forced upon you, it leads to stress, and it's just the opposite of health. It leads to just destroying your health. So exercise when it's not actually something that you want to do and it's forced upon you, there's plenty of studies that show that it just destroys your health instead of improving it. And that just proves that if you're doing things that you don't think are right, or you don't want to do, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious. So you have to admit that the things that you're currently doing and the things that I've done, like exercising every day of the week, doing crazy exercise, that yeah, I wanted to feel great about myself too, that I could do these things, but I didn't actually want to do them, so it just led to me destroying my health. We need to admit that we didn't actually want to do it. It was because of external factors that we wanted to get approval from others that we can do these things, but it just won't help because it's not coming from inside. It's not what we actually want to do. So it's just going to destroy our health and going to make our lives worse. And even though all of this information, that doing involuntary actions that you don't think are right or that you don't think are good for you or for others, but doing them anyway, you will still do them. And that's what I need you to stop with, because even with this information that you shouldn't act in ways that you think are wrong, people will do it because it's more comfortable to stay in the same old ways of your doings. You will continue doing the same things. But if you're intelligent, you know that you need to realize those mistakes. You need to move on from that past. You need to admit that you don't know anything and that what you have been currently doing isn't sufficient and it's wrong and it's not working, because otherwise you wouldn't feel stressed and anxious in the first place. Of course, there will be times of more stress and anxiety, and that's natural, and we shouldn't avoid discipline and doing hard things. But that doesn't mean that we should force a path that wasn't meant for us. We should still have discipline, of course, and to be able to do the hard things that we don't feel like. But if we know that it's wrong, then we shouldn't do it. So it's not about just going with your intuition, and well, you should go with your intuition, but you shouldn't let go of discipline. You shouldn't just do what you feel like doing. You should do what you know is right, not what you feel like doing, not what makes you happy, what makes your actions meaningful, not what making you feel good all the time, what's making you feel that you have done something important and meaningful. That's what it's all about, doing the things that you know are right, no matter what you feel or what others might say. But how do we actually stop these bad actions that doesn't align with what we know are right? It's by observing. When you will get this gut feeling that, or you might get some lump in your throat that this isn't right. You should feel that what I'm about to do or what I'm doing or what I have done isn't right. You will get that feeling and you have to notice it and you have to take it seriously. You can't just let it go like that. You have to actually listen to these signs, because you will get a lot of signs that tells you that something isn't right. You have to trust those signs, because if you don't trust yourself, you're not gonna be confident, you're not gonna feel good if you can't trust yourself. So develop some trust in your own intuition and learn to listen to the signs, listen to yourself more instead of forcing a path that others say are great for you or that you think is right, because you overthink all of the time and trying to get to the perfect optimal solution. Like I've done a lot trying to find the best optimal routine, but stopping a few weeks later because it's not actually what you want to do. It's just from overthinking and trying to analyze some perfect thing that's not gonna work. It won't work. You have to actually trust yourself and find the things that's actually gonna work for you, not that gonna work for everyone, but for you. So if you can start to trust your own intuition and to do what you know is right and trust the signs that appear that they're telling you something valuable, and start doing the things that you know are right, start exercising the way that you want to exercise. And if you don't want to go on a walk, don't go for a walk. If you don't want to do the dishes right now, or if you want to stop reading and just look outside of the window, do that. Do those things that you will get like an instinct to do something. You have to kind of listen to it. You can't say that the perfect routine for me is to wake up here, take a shower here, do that. Maybe it would be better for you to meditate first and then do that. You get what I mean? You can't be forcing that it has to be this specific way or otherwise I'm a failure, because you're not. Thinking that way leads to failure, because you can't be perfect. You're never gonna find a perfect routine. You're never gonna be able to develop something so great that it's always gonna work. It just won't happen. So realize this and have some humility that you don't know anything, and so that you can experiment and try new things that will probably work way better. So if you feel anxious and stressed all the time, try to listen to your intuition and do what you actually think is right for you. Thanks for listening to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.